Hey, hello, welcome to the show. It is me, JP, and we're all here for JP's product pick of the week, presumably. So thank you for stopping by. Thanks for hopping on over here today. We've got our people in the chat. Hello to people in YouTube chat. Hello to people over in the Discord. What's the Discord chat? Go over to adafruit.it/Discord and you will look for this right here. I'm pointing at imaginary things. That's not it. That's it. Christopher Walken is there. Starman is there. I'm there. Hello. Thin Man. Hey, Johnny Bergdahl. Blitz City DIY. Thanks for popping in. Hey, C. Grover. We also have our YouTube chat, as I mentioned, and over there you will find such people as Dave Odessa. Hello. Johnny Bergdahl, Badagraf Avdelhagen, and Lackey Jackie. Hello. Thanks for popping by. This light is bugging me over here. I'm going to turn this off. I had this on earlier. Don't mind me while I make small adjustments. There we are. So what I like to do on this here show is send you to the product page for this week's product pick, which you can get there via Uniform Resource Locator or QR code. I don't know what that stands for. What does QR stand for? Go there. That's this week's product pick. Inside of it, this show is live streaming in a little YouTube embed window. And we have slashed the price in half. So thank you to the new products team. You can go pick them up. We stashed 100 of them. We had more than that, so I think there's plenty to go around. And it's a terrific deal this week. But what is it? I keep talking about this thing, and I haven't said what it is. Well, I'm not going to, but Lady Ada is. So please take it away, Lady Ada.
Okay, next up, we have a series of boards that are new PiCowbells. So we're going to talk about all of them together, and then I'll show them off. So this is the terminal bell. So this has terminal blocks on the side. There's big green things, and those allow you to connect, I think, 18 to 26 gauge wire. But look at the product documentation in case I don't have the number correct. Using any small flathead screwdriver, you can open up the terminal blocks and plug the pins in. And what you're supposed to do with this version is you can solder in socket headers, or you can solder the Pico directly in or underneath, however you want, and you get those terminal blocks as well as some mounting holes. We also have a version that'll be in stock tomorrow with the sockets already soldered in. So it's a little more expensive. So why would you want one or the other? Well, with the socket soldered in version, it's ready to go. You just plug in your Pico directly. So we can go to the overhead and I'll show this off. So this is the version without the sockets plugged in. And this is my prototype, so it's green, but you can imagine it's very similar. Don't forget to look at the bottom to see which way is the USB port. The USB or look at the pins. So this is pin 0 and 1. So this is where the USB goes. So with this version, you can just plug right in, ready to go. If you have your Pico H or the Pico WH especially, it's going to be really easy because it's just ready to go, and then you can connect to the terminal blocks. You get a STEMMA QT port and a reset button. You have, just to show the terminals, there's a terminal block for each pin. So there's going to be lots of ground pins, and then one for each GPIO. And then on the bottom, you can see the labeling for what each pin does. Just look on the bottom. And then I also have like 4 little break apart feet mounting, or you can remove them if you want to keep it slim.
Right on. Yes, this is it. This is the product pick of the week this week. It is the terminal block PiCowbell with pre-soldered headers. Is that what we call it? Terminal block? That's not the name, is it? What the heck's your name? I swear I wrote it down. Terminal. We're just calling it terminal. Hey, that's the product pick of the week this week. It's the terminal PiCowbell with pre-soldered headers. So these are terrific for prototyping, plug and play with a Pico. Particularly, I'll show in a second, the Pico H, which comes with headers already pre-soldered. But here's a Pico that I had already soldered some fun little colorful headers into. There's no sockets on these normally. There's no easy way to connect to them, especially for prototyping or semi-permanent but not fully permanent without just soldering onto the pads there. The terminal PiCowbell gives you a socket that's already ready to go. We just take this. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in there for a second. There you go. It's ready to go, and it has mounting holes, so you can screw that down to your project. Yay. It has 40 terminals, little screw terminals, which break out every pin, every normal pin that's a solderable pin on the Pico. You've now got a way to put a little stranded wire in there and screw down, and off you go. We also have a few extras on it. One, it has on the sort of bottom side, opposite of the USB side, a reset button. Yay! So you can boot load this thing or reset this. If you press boot, reset, release, off you go. You can put a new firmware on there. Also, if you just need to reset your program, you've got a button for that, which normally doesn't appear on the Pico. Also, we have a STEMMA QT I2C/Quick connector there, so you can plug in all kinds of peripherals easily. And then also you'll notice if I pull the Pico off of there, and you know what, in fact, as I talk about it, let me put this this nice view of it on the screen. You can see we have a prototyping area. So there are, I think, 12 rows of 4 or 5 connected pins there that you can solder little circuits to. And then there's a pad broken out on the inside so you can get to any of the pins on there. So you can make a little breakout of some kind, a little circuit on there. It could also be on the bottom. You can mount these upside down if you have a reason to, and have a much bigger area there for your circuit prototype. And then there's also, if you look on the bottom there, a little easier to see in my picture, on the bottom side, I'll flip this upside down, there is a white 3-volt rail across the top, and then there are little white rectangles on all the ground pins, which just makes it a little bit easier when you're wiring things up to look and see. And then we do have all of the pin numbers on the silk screen there. So this will work with any of the Pico boards. So Pico, Pico W, Pico H, Pico 2, Pico 2WH, any of those. So what do those refer to? Either the Pico or the Pico 2, which is the RP2040 and the RP2350. W is the wireless ones, and H is the pre-soldered headers versions of those. So let me take you over to the product page here. You can see if I refresh that, just make sure these are in stock. These are, I'm only featuring the pre-soldered header version. There is another version which has not been discounted, which is the without header. So make sure, if you want the great deal and you don't feel like doing any soldering, go ahead and grab the soldered socket header version of this. If you scroll down a bit, you will see we've got a couple of learn guides to take a look at. So there is the primary learn guide here, which includes some nice close-up photos of it. And if you head to the pinout diagram, this will give you a little more info on how the proto area is connected. There's some duplicate holes for I2C if you want to use 2 I2C buses on it, and a couple other little neat extras. If you take a look at the Pico and Pico 2 boards, look for pre-soldered headered version. Normally, you can get the regular Pico for $4. For $5, you can get this pre-soldered headers version. If you look at the bottom there, that's the one that will just slot right into this. So if you're getting this and you don't want to solder, or if you're giving these as a gift to someone and you just want to use a screwdriver and wire, no soldering, this is a good way to go. And then we also have it's not in stock right now, I believe, but the pre-soldered header version of the 2W, which is kind of the most advanced one. It's $8. Normally $7 if you're going to do the soldering yourself. So those are some good Picos to consider using with this. And then also a learn guide I wanted to point out was this one, which I actually have sitting over there, and it is the conversion job I did on this arcade stick. And that drawing right there, or that photograph, that shows you why these are great, because I've got about 30 wires going into the thing, and I could change my mind about wiring them, make mistakes, rewire. There's no soldering here, but it is perfect for this kind of a wiring loom, wiring heavy type of arcade stick projects with lots and lots of buttons and a joystick. So let me also go to the overhead here and show you a demo I just put together. So this is, you may or may not remember, I brought this on the show as a neat find. This is actually something, I think Todd Kurt maybe found this at Apex Electronics, which is like a surplus electronics place here in LA. It is a control box for a very old Quantel digital effects box used usually in TV production to do picture-in-picture and wipes and effects. And you can see it's got some really neat mechanical switches on it with LEDs and a bunch of analog dials. I've just wired up 3 of these little toggle switches that are 2-position or dual throw, and they return to center. And so I've got a little counter here showing me the first position. That's also lighting up a little NeoPixel strip there with the percentage of red, or we can go over to green here, or let me roll back around to 0, add in some blue there. So that's just I'm not doing anything particularly useful with this right now, and it was missing its major PCBs, so, and I don't have a Quantel DPE 5000 to work with, but I thought this would make kind of a neat little gadget box, maybe a puzzle box, maybe a control panel for some software, something like that. It's got some joysticks and things on there, but really all I've got wired up right now is this. And you can see there is a neat little set of 3x3 wires I'm just using since I have the spare grounds on here, rather than ganging up the grounds at the switch level. I've just run a black wire to 3 different grounds and then a pair of wires to the 2 positions. So I'm using up some 6 GPIO pins to read those. So that's a fairly simple little Circuit Python program that I have here, and you'll see we're just reading GPIO pins. So GP0, GP1, GP2, GP3, GP8, GP9, those are just Pico GPIO pins that are easy for me to access right there on the board. And if I go back to, let's get the main page back up here. Let's see if we have I think you need to actually go to a Pico pinout to see what pins I'm using and how they correlate, but the numbers are written in the silkscreen on the back and the front there, so you can see them when you're wiring it up. So really, really useful for these types of projects. John Nodge over in Discord says, it looks like you're ready to remotely control your DeLorean. Yeah, great for prop projects, especially if you find old gear that had kind of discrete one-to-one wiring of stuff, a big wiring loom running into a controller. This is a nice way to go and grab 30-something GPIO pins that you have on the Pico and put them to use. Let's see. I'm going to scroll through. Yes, Starman had asked about Pico 2, RP2350. Absolutely. That's what's on this one here, in fact. So I'm going to go back to the down shooter for a moment. So if we try to zoom in a bit here and refocus. Oh, that's exposure. Okay, that's helpful actually. Let's go fix that focus. So you can see here, I'll go ahead and unplug USB from that, and I can lift off my. You'll see also I'm making use of the mounting tabs that are on there, and I've got this screwed down to one of these swirly grids. So there it is. I've got the I2C, by the way, is what's plugged into my little matrix display. That's a backpack that uses I2C to control the LCD backpack. And there is a Pico 2W, which comes with those nice pre-soldered headers. I really like these because they provide a bit more mechanical strength to this. When you're pulling this out, you're less likely to be bending pins and bending the board because of these horizontal structures in the plastic there. So those are really nice to work with, and that just sets in there. But if I wanted to swap out the brains of this project with a different Pico, maybe it didn't need wireless, or maybe it wasn't and I wanted to switch to wireless, this is a Pico original, sort of vanilla first generation Pico. That'll plug right in there as well. So those will all work with that. Let's see, any other questions? Relic says, but soldering is so much fun. Absolutely, and you can continue to solder. No one's going to stop you there, but for plug and play, this one's really helpful. Let's see. Anything else? No. Don't short your Pico. Thank you. Was I looking like I was going to? I hope not. Okay, I think that's going to do it then, so we can wrap up. Here's one. Right here, that's the product pick of the week this week. It is the Terminal PiCowbell with pre-soldered headers, STEMMA QT, and reset button. For Adafruit Industries, I'm John Park. This has been JP's product pick of the week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.